Well, that's different.
Just to be sure, this video contains spoilers. Rick and Morty's recent plot surprise, featuring Rick Prime, allows the program to delve deeper into its primary characters. Rick and Morty Season 7, Episode 5. Unmortrican appears to have killed off one of the show's main adversaries, Rick Prime. For several seasons, he has been a driving factor behind some of Rick and Morty's primary storylines and has had a significant influence on Rick Sanchez's life.
The Omega device.
Known to inferiors as the Omega device.
While the show had been progressively building up to a fight between Rick Prime and Rick C-137, the decision to kill Rick Prime is a daring one that might totally shift the course of the series. Although Rick and Morty's Rick Prime twist was unexpected, it provides the show with a blank slate in terms of plot. While there are other important individuals that could contribute to the broader plot of the program, there is greater leeway in terms of where the series goes next. So far, the season hasn't concentrated much on the larger story, so the next few episodes may return to one-off standalone experiences. However, even during these excursions, Rick and Morty can go deeper into the primary characters, giving new levels and intricacies to their personalities that they hadn't previously explored. After Rick and Morty's Season 7 twist, Rick Sanchez will need to find a new purpose. Despite the fact that Rick and Morty's Season 7 Episode 5's funniest humor made people chuckle, it also depicted Rick Sanchez looking empty and purposeless. Rick is dissatisfied after finally slaying his lifelong adversary and will now need to find a new purpose.
It always does. Hope you're happy with your choice.
Fuck off.
While the character does not appear to be burdened with regret or guilt, obtaining a long-awaited objective suddenly leaves him with no apparent future plot. This isn't simply from the perspective of the audience, but Rick appears to be suffering with the possibility of what's next, going about his business as usual, but feeling empty within. If Rick Prime is indeed gone, Rick will be compelled to discover a new path in life, which might result in a huge alteration in the character. He may become more family-oriented, appreciating what he still has after losing his wife in every way. On the other hand, with Rick Prime gone, he may begin to perceive himself as the most superior Rick, transforming him into the man he despised. Whatever path his character takes, the ending of Rick and Morty Season 7, Episode 5, sets up a whole new narrative for the character, which should bring some new concepts and make Rick even more intriguing. The shows on Evil Morty may hint at more depth for Rick's grandson. With Rick Prime's death, Evil Morty will most likely become the show's main antagonistic emphasis, hinting at additional complexity for Morty Smith. Morty has already gone through a lot of growth in the series, but it might be time for him to have his own overarching plot. The majority of the plot revolves around Rick, whose notoriety spans numerous realities. Rick Prime was his specific adversary, whom he had to defeat in order to finish this arc. Morty could now find himself in a similar situation. While he doesn't have a lot of history with Evil Morty, it could be the driving factor behind his transformation. They spend a lot of time together in this episode, which could signal the beginning of a transition in the series. Focusing on Morty and telling him a more sophisticated story may push some of Rick's deeper changes on him. Morty could become more obsessed, possibly reminding Rick of what he went through and thereby turning the relationship around. Similarly, Evil Morty may entirely change Morty's perception of Rick and turn the two against each other. While a personal tale between Morty and Evil Morty has yet to be produced, Episode 5 may have tested the waters by showing the two interacting and hinting at some new character developments. Why is now the best time to reimagine Rick and Morty's characters? With Justin Roiland's departure, now is the ideal opportunity to revamp Rick and Morty's characters. Because Roiland voiced both Rick and Morty, modifying the general presentation of the characters would benefit the new voice actors. It's impossible to remove some of their key characteristics, but changing Rick and Morty throughout the plot will allow the new actors to put their own stamp on the characters. Rick's completion of this major character arc in Rick and Morty Season 7 Episode 5 provides the ideal chance to redefine the character, and the program could easily do the same with Morty.